Most managers are on the way of becoming completely irrelevant. They are focused on reports and metrics, tasks that AI and algorithm can do way better within the next 3 years, and cheaper as well. They are optimizing for the past and not for the future. In the next few minutes, we will break down what are the two main skills that will separate the leaders who will be replaced from the leaders who will be unstoppable. And these are going to be genuine human empathy and AI superpowers. This isn't the theory. This is the new operating manual for leadership. So why am I talking about this? I've been managing global projects for the past 10 years, and I also manage people from 17 different countries. And I still do it as my day-to-day job. I still see the struggle. I see the people who will be left behind. I see the people who have tried to improve and try to pick up these two crucial skills. And this is not just my opinion. I went through all the researches I could find done by McKinsey, Gartner, Catalyst, PwC, and I've taken all that data and broke it down into a simple, understandable blueprint. And this is what I'm going to show you in this video. The study shows that 83% of companies call AI their top priority. This can mean a lot of different things. It also means that on one hand, this is why you have to focus on AI, how to implement it in your workflow, how to implement it in your day-to-day job as a manager, how you can use prompts, build prompt sets, and use AI tools. On the other hand, it shows you how early we are in this whole AI situation and AI integration. There are a lot of companies who use AI only for the sake of AI. For example, I just came up on a toothbrush that uses machine learning and AI, right? Which just makes no sense, to be honest. But still, there are a lot of companies who use AI just for the sake of AI. But on the other hand, this also shows us why it is really important to focus on AI, because most of the companies call AI their top priority. So what is the underlying problem for managers? The main problem is that the third of their time is focused on admin work, right? Doing reports, emails, updates, summaries, so on and so on. But this time should be also focused on people. But in the past, we had no way of actually moving those admin hours or decreasing those admin hours. Maybe after some level of management, you can hire an assistant and she can or he can do it for you. But, as regular managers on many different levels, if you do not have an assistant, you have to do it yourself, and that's going to eat up a third of your time. So why is that important? It is important because study also found that if an employee feels unsupported, it has a 70% higher chance of burning out, okay? And I talked about burnout in a previous video. You can check it out up here. And the reason it is so risky is because burnout can bring a lot of different things in terms of decreasing the overall morale of the team, bringing the why bother mentality when people just doesn't want to even raise issues because they are just burned out, and decrease the productivity really, really low. And that's why managers have to focus on using AI to make sure that the admin work is done by AI, or at least this amount of time is decreased to a much smaller segment. And then they can focus on the leadership and strategy, the human part, so we can make sure burnout does not happen as much as it does right now. So as I said, we have two crucial skills. One of them is going to be AI superpowers, and the other one is going to be human empathy, okay? So let's start with AI solution, the AI superpowers. So what are these? For example, let's take an everyday manager, automated agendas and scheduling. Let's say, as an example, you can take an automation, an N8N or Make.com or whatever it is, an automation to schedule your meetings. Or if you set up a meeting, to automatically generate an agenda for that meeting, or just suggest an agenda for that meeting. Or you can go into ChatGPT and describe your meeting, and then it can create an agenda for you, right? So there are a lot of different solutions, and there are a lot of different levels of solutions you can do. But still, doing that is going to decrease the amount of time that you have to spend on those tasks. Another one is going to be instant meeting summaries, okay? You can approach this in a few different ways. One of them, which is I think the most efficient, is to actually have an AI note taker within your meetings. So it can be Otter AI, if you use Google Workspace, it can be Gemini Note Taker, it can be Loom, whatever you want, but this is the most efficient way. If you don't have funds for that, if you take your own notes, still do it, take your own notes, but then make sure to either record the meeting so you can transcribe it later with AI, or if you can do that as well, just take your summaries, put it into ChatGPT, and let it create a summary of the meeting for you. So you just have to do the bullet points. You do not have to focus on what you write or how to write. You just have to do the bullet points of the meeting, and it's going to take it into context and it's going to make it a better summary. The other one is performance data analysis. Okay. So in different companies and different industries, you have different data of your people. If they're doing sales, you have the sales data. If they're doing marketing, you have the data from the social platforms. If they're doing tech, you have data from GitHub, GitLab, and Jira, right? So you have different kind of data coming in. What you have to do is make sure to collect that data and then also use an AI prompt set to help you analyze that data to make conclusions, and then you can move forward from there. Early burnout detection, okay, as the last one. And one of the ways you can do it is through one-on-one meetings, okay? This is one of the reasons why one-on-one meetings are really important to do as managers and to do it effectively. You can use AI to help you prepare and also to summarize after the one-on-one, and then use different coaching methods and coaching questions during the one-on-one, okay? This is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to detect burnout. These are the skills you need to be the leader of the future. You have to understand that AI is not here to replace you. It's here to liberate you. And the second skill is going to be the power of empathy. Okay? This is the reason why humans are replaceable in leadership roles, because of the power of empathy. Okay? So what does the study found? The study found that 96% of employees value empathy, okay, for attention. What does that mean? It means that people who leave companies are actually not leaving companies, they are leaving managers. So if they feel that their manager is empathetic, they are more likely to stay at the company, right? But this shows that only 50% of employees actually feel that their manager is empathetic, right? So this is why we have to focus on human empathy as a power when we are managers and when we are leaders, because otherwise there's going to be a huge turnover in our teams, in our companies. So as we know, turnover costs can be a lot for a company. As we know, it can be up to 50, 100 or 150% of annual salary to replace an employee. So the vision for a future manager, it is human empathy with AI. This is why it is really important. This is how managers become unstoppable, to make sure that they have the AI superpowers to decrease admin work, to be the most efficient version of themselves, and then automate everything that they can. They will have deeper and better insights. They can analyze data faster and better, and they can track goals, feedback, development, growth, anything that they need within their team, just better, faster, and cheaper with AI. And once they have that, they will have more time to focus on human empathy. And without that, they cannot build trust within the team. They cannot coach and mentor team members. They cannot inspire and motivate people. And also they cannot listen actively. And these are all the traits of a manager who can be unstoppable in the future. Managers who master both empathy and AI will be unstoppable in the future, but it has to be your choice. Are you going to evolve into that future manager with human empathy and AI superpowers to be the best version of yourself and the best version of a manager can be? Or you're going to stay behind and work on those repetitive admin tasks and not be there for your team to improve? So if you want to be the manager of the future and make sure to use AI the best way as possible in any realm of management, make sure to subscribe.